Hi guys, welcome to my knowledge session. So today we will talk about the security and vulnerability in our applications and applications code. So let's have an open conversation. You are open to unmute your mic and let's talk about security. So in your view, what does security actually means to you? Anyone guys? If you have worked in multiple projects, is there any security practices being followed, and what actually security means to you? Anyone?
Hey Rahul, this is Kamran. So the
Hi.
security means to protect yourself, to protect your environment from threats. It is just like in common words, if I may have to describe this, like we are having certain uh, assets in our home, and
Mhm.
to protect them, we are going to keep them inside a safe vault. So that is known as a security. Security means
Yeah.
in IT sector, if I define security, that means I'm going to protect my assets like database, like wherever I'm running my applications or data or something. Because for every organization, data is the most important thing. If data is lost, company is lost. So to
Yeah.
protect those kind of things is known as a security, to provide them in a manner so that no one from outer world may attack or steal them. That is security.
Yeah. Thank you, Kamran. You are definitely right. The data is most important thing in an organization. Uh, I would like to hear more about the security from anyone else who want to like to share their views on security and vulnerability. Anyone? I have seen Vaibhav Kumar raised his hand. So Vaibhav Kumar, do you want to share your views?
Hi, hello.
Hi Vaibhav.
Actually, I was not able to unmute myself, so I had to join again. Uh,
Oh,
for me, security is that I can know that my things are controlled and known to the persons that are uh, acquaintance to me, and my whatever, like for example, if I'm running on a server, then I can freely work on that without having a chance that losing my information or resources to anyone.
okay. Yeah, you are also right, Vaibhav. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Otherwise, it's almost time to start the session. Anyone else to share their views? Please, you can unmute yourself.
So, hi Rahul. It's basically, protecting an environment from different, vulnerabilities and attacks, or you can say, having the control of your data so that you or the required person can only access and like have the data secured and environment secured.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So it's time now. It's almost not almost. It's 3:33. So I think we can start the next session. Welcome, guys. So today's knowledge session is about Horusec, which is a open source tool to test your application code against security issues and vulnerability. So let's start the session. So before start session, let's talk about the knowledge etiquettes. So first etiquette is be punctual. Join the session before 5 minutes before the session start, so we can have conversation like this to build you to context and feedback. So make sure you submit a constructive feedback for all sessions, so it can help the presenter in future to improve the quality of session. And keep your mobile devices and other devices on silent mode, so the presenter will not get distracted if any unwanted noise comes. And please avoid disturbance and unwanted chit chat. during the session. And if you want to say something, or if you have a question, you can raise your hand, or I will uh, stop myself and ask you guys if you have any doubt or question. Okay, so now let's start by looking the agenda. So today's agenda is what security means and what are the main principles of security. Then we will see where security lies in the DevOps and what DevSecOps means. After then, we will see what is Horusec and why we use it, and then we will see Horusec features, and we will then move ahead to demo part. So let's start the session. So security means to ensure your data in transit or at the rest are safe and not accessible by anyone. And security practice derives to minimize the risk of human error, vulnerability, data breach, and unauthorized access to network and data. So as Kamala, Himanshu, and Weber mentioned, the data is most important thing in a industry or in an organization. So security basically means to protect this data, whether it is in transit or at rest. So security means to minimize the risk of human error and unauthorized access and data breach. So we have mainly three security principles that is called CIA principles. CIA means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So first one is confidentiality. So it means to protect your data and secret so that only authorized person or a machine can access them. And confidentiality also be there whether your data at rest or at transit. So in case you have a database, so you need to secure your database so no one can access your data, and no one from unauthorized person can see your data. So this is the confidentiality of data. Then we have a another principle that is called integrity. So integrity means data must be secured from unauthorized source, and it ensure, or it has insurance that data has not been tampered from any other source. For example, if you are receiving your data and those data has been tampered from a man in the middle attack. So integrity ensures that data is not has been tampered and it is received from the secure origin, or you can say the original source. So how it is achieved? So integrity follows a hashing practices. It encrypts your data and generate a digest. Then the digest authenticates at the targets. Um, in this way, it ensures that data has been tampered and it is received from the original source. Then we have a third principle, which is availability. Please don't confuse with the availability and confidentiality because it is almost looks like same, but different on the other place also. So availability means allowing access to only authorized and authenticated humans and machines, but only for when you need and as long as you need. So, example, you are an authenticated and authorized person to access the data, but you will and you can't access your data as long as you don't need them. Sorry, as long as you need them. So this principle ensures that whenever you need your data to be accessed, only when you can access. Otherwise, you cannot access your data, whether you are authorized or authenticated person. And it also includes the availability and redundancy, backups, and encryption of a system. So these are the main three principles of security that has to be followed to ensure your data is protected and safe. So let's move ahead to see where this lies in a DevOps cycle. So DevSecOps is a cultural practice that introduces automation of security practices in every phase of DevOps to increase reliability, enhance delivery very securely, and it ensures the policy and governance, and it protects your application and infrastructure from vulnerability and unauthorized access. So as you can see in the model or diagram, DevSecOps is a cultural practice that introduce security practices in every phase of DevOps. And you have already familiar with the DevOps. DevOps has a CICD and automate culture. So DevSecOps practice ensures that security practices has been followed in very automation way. So these are the main DevSecOps practices. That is threat modeling. So basically, threat modeling is to identify the security issues and security threats when we are designing a application or a software. Then we have a vulnerability management. Uh, the vulnerability management means to manage your vulnerability, and uh, whenever you're building or coding your application, you may have some piece of code that some unauthorized person can exploit to get into your system. So this is not happened. So to make sure this will not happen, the vulnerability management comes in the place. Then we have is software composition analysis. So you might be using some open source dependency or tools to build your application. So software composition analysis makes sure that your third-party dependency or libraries are secured enough, and they have not any security issues that someone can breach to get into your system. Okay, so after then we have a security statics application security testing. It is meant to test your whole application and ISC and pipeline code before you actually build or deploy or release the code. And it is done on the developer's side, and mostly it is done by the CI pipeline. Uh, this practice are responsible to find the all security hotspots and security issues and vulnerabilities. So we will also see in the demo how static application security test works. And yeah, of course, we have a container security. Like now, microservices are built in a container environment using Docker container, containerd, and all. So container security are also important in terms of security. So DevSecOps also incorporate these practice to ensure your containers, your containers are secure enough to build or deploy your application. Then we have a secret management. So you just can't share all the secrets and credentials across the team. Some team members might leak those credentials uh, accidentally, not you can say not purposely, but some developers might leak those credentials or secrets accidentally. So to prevent this incident to be happen, we should follow a single source of secret management. For example, you can incorporate AWS secret management, you can use GCP secret management tools. You can also incorporate HashiCorp Vault to manage all your secrets. And HashiCorp Vault also able to inject dynamic secrets into your containers if you are using Kubernetes container or pods. So this is a very good practice to manage your secret at a single source. Then we have a infrastructure security to test your infrastructure whether you are using a well-maintained network, and do you have enabled your firewalls and all those gateways and security groups, so that unauthorized person cannot access into your network. And after then we have a dynamic application security test. This security test uh, performs when you deploy your applications. So suppose you have already your application running in a Kubernetes environment, and you want to see how resilient and how secure your application is. So you can stimulate hacker attacks in your application and find all those vulnerabilities in your application after it is being deployed on the environment. So these are the security practices, or you can say DevSecOps practices in every phase of DevOps. And of course, when it is come to auditing and monitoring, it is also a good practice to audit your flow logs, or you can say network logs, to see whether a unauthorized person is not accessing or trying to accessing your network. So it is very good practice to audit your logs also. Now we have a tool that is open source tool, which will be used in the upcoming demo. So the name of the tool is Horusec, as you can see in the screen. So it is an open source tool that performs static code analysis to identify security flaws during the development of process. Sorry, during the development process. And it is used by developers through CLI, and it can also be used by DevOps team to integrate with the CICD, and it can also be integrated with the Sonarqube. So whenever you are building your application or your application is in a development process, you can use this CLI tool to identify all those security flaws before you build the actual application, so that the chances of security issues can be minimized. And of course, it has many supported language. Uh, it supports C Sharp, Java, Kotlin, Python, Ruby, Golang, Terraform, JavaScript, TypeScript, Kubernetes, PHP, C, HTML, JSON, Dart, XML, Shell, and Nginx Swift. So as you can see, it supports almost all, not all, but mostly used supported language in the development process. So this is the basic about the Horusec and how we can implement it with our development process to secure our application. Now we will move ahead to knowledge quiz, and this is time where you can unmute yourself to answer some questions. And let me ask first question. Okay, the first question is, what security practice does Horusec perform? Okay, so I will just quickly move to this slide so you can read this slide quickly and answer the first question. So I will wait for a few seconds. Okay, now the first question comes again. What security practice does Horusec performs? Anyone want to answer this question? Guys, any guesses? You can unmute yourself.
Dest A.
Dash. Sorry, it's a wrong answer. The Horusec performs SAS, which is which is a testing, security testing whenever your application in a development process. So as I have told you guys earlier, the Horusec tool performs static code analysis during the development process. So it is in the development process, and I have also show you the security. The SAST is in the is the practice which is followed in the development process, and the DAST practice is followed when your application is deployed on the environment. So Horusec is a of course SAST tool. It performs SAST testing to identify the security flaws and vulnerability in your application code. So okay, good try. So let's move ahead to the next question. This is out of context or syllabus, but I will cover this question also in the upcoming slides. But you can also try out the answer. So the question is, in what format Horusec generate the security reports after scanning the code base or your application code? So you
Should
can
be should be XML and HTML.
Yeah, your answer may be correct if it is sending all those reports to some another platform, or you can say another analyzing tool. But in this case, Horusec generates report in your current directory, and it generates the report in JSON and text format. And then those JSON and text format can be used by developers, or if you are integrating Sonarqube, then you can also pass this JSON in the Sonarqube portal, and so you can manage all those security issues and vulnerability in the Sonarqube. So I will show this thing in the upcoming demo. But let's try. It could be XML or HTML if it is sending all those reports to a analyzing tool. And also Horusec has a web UI which accept some data whenever it scan your code. Um, I have seen. Yes, Vaibhav. Do you have any question?
Yes, you said that the report will be in JSON and text. Is it either in JSON or either in text or
Yeah, yeah. It is either in JSON or in text, and you can select whether you want the report in JSON or in text format.
Okay.
And Horusec have also introduced a new format, which is Sonarqube. Uh, so the configuration called Sonarqube, but it is again in the JSON format. If you see the report, you will see this is written in the JSON format. Okay, so
So
we will.
do we need to enable something separately to enable XML and HTML?
No. The Horusec scans your code, application code. Then we will just need to set up a token authentication. If you have deployed your web UI, the Horusec also comes with the web UI. I will cover that part too. Then you will need to generate a token, and that token will be put in a configuration, which is the Horusec configuration. And then after Horusec scan your application code, it will automatically update all those reports in that web UI.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, so yeah, this was again out of context or uh, out of the information question, but I will cover this part in the demo, so you can take it as a pre-context of upcoming demo. Okay, let's move ahead to the features. So these are the main features of Horusec, and it comes with the feature of manage vulnerabilities. And Horusec not only finds the vulnerabilities in your code, but it can also centralize the report, and it provides tooling to manage and view your code vulnerabilities and security issues. So you can deploy your self-hosted web UI. It also comes with the self-hosted web UI. You can deploy it on a managed Kubernetes or your Kubernetes cluster, and you can then manage your vulnerabilities all together at a single place. And if you are integrating with the CI/CD pipeline, then your DevOps team also integrate Horusec CLI tool or Horusec image, which is a Docker image. If you are using Circle CI or GitLab or Concos, those CI/CD tools which use Docker images to run job or job steps, then it also comes with the Docker image, and you can integrate those Docker image or CLI tool with your CI/CD pipeline. So whenever a developer raise a pull request or merge request, so first it will scan your code and find vulnerability. Then after the scanning is completed and no vulnerability is found, it will merge your code or merge your pull request. Then again, it has a new feature which is in Sonarqube integration. Uh, as I have told you in this question, that you can also export your report in a Sonarqube format. So you can use that report to export. You use that report in your Sonarqube, and you can see all code issues and vulnerability in your Sonarqube portal. So this is a very good feature of Horusec if you are using Sonarqube. Then we also have a IDE extension, and it can help your developers to analyze the code when a developer writing the application or writing some code logics. So currently it only supports the VS Code extension, but it is but in the future it will come with the uh, other IDE tools, for example, IntelliJ and all. Then it has a CLI tool for scripting. So the main feature or main thing is the Horusec CLI tool, which allows you to run security analysis with the help of a CLI command. Uh, so anyone who are using Linux or maybe Windows can use terminal or command prompt to scan your application code and find all those security issues and vulnerabilities. So these are the main features of Horusec tool. Let's move ahead to the demo. So in the demo part, I will show how Horusec can be integrated with the CI/CD, and I will be using GitHub Actions to show the demo, and how Horusec can be integrated with the Sonarqube. So in the demo I will show you these two things. So let's start. So before start the demo, you just need to deploy a fresh Sonarqube portal. If you already have a Sonarqube, then you just need to do nothing. You just need the Sonarqube project details like project token and project key. But for the sake of the demo, I will deploy a newly and fresh Sonarqube portal. So I will use Docker command to run a Sonar portal. So now my Sonar container is running. Now let's quickly access the Sonar. So it will take a minute or two to initialize all those scripts and init user, that is an admin user. So I can access my Sonar portal. So let's just wait till it start. And meanwhile, I can also open my application code. Okay, so this is my application code. Okay, till it starting, it will take a minute to do. Meanwhile, I can also show you some Horusec CLI tool and command. First, you will need to install the Horusec, and to install the Horusec tool, you will just need to type this command and hit enter. This will basically download a installation script, and then it will start the script, and the script will automatically install the Horusec CLI tool in your Linux system. And I have already installed it in my system, so I will skip this step and let me show you the Horusec command. So it has basically three or two commands. First one is completion, that is for the batch completion. Second one is generate. So this will generate a configuration file for your CLI tool. So if you want to have some different configurations for your different microservices, you can have these config file generated and have different values in each of them. Then then you can use these configuration file to scan your code. And of course, we have a help command to see the options and what are the flags of each command. And then the main command is start. This will basically start the analysis of your code. Let's see. Yeah. So now my Sonar portal is active. Let me just log into it. The first password is admin. So whenever you deploy a new portal, it is a default password. Then it will ask you to change your password. So I will change my password. Okay. So now my Sonar portal is active, and now I can create a project. So I will name it as a test project, and you can also keep the display name and project key ID same as I have done, and you just need to click on setup. If you're doing locally, or if you're integrating with these CI tools, you can choose one of them. But I will choose the local because I'm integrating this with the local environment. Then you can choose the token acceleration. I will choose 30 days and click on generate. It will generate a token that will be used to update your Sonar project. Just copy it and keep it aside. Then click on continue. Then you can choose uh, what language or build framework you want to choose. I will choose the other. Then I will choose the OS, which is Linux in my case. Then it will show a command. And to run this command, you will basically need a Sonar scanner CLI. installed in your Linux system. I have already installed this Sonar scanner in my system, so I will skip this part and I'll just quickly copy this command in my system. And after you run this command, it will automatically update your this Sonarqube project. So before update the Sonarqube project, let's run the Horusec code scanning to find vulnerabilities. Okay, so I will open my application code, and now I will open my the code of one of my microservice. Okay, so this is the terminal in my microservice, and I just need to run this command to generate the configuration file. And after you hit this command, it will generate a configuration file which is called horusec-config.json. As you can see, I have already generated this file for the sake of the demo. And in this file, you will see all the configuration which you can use to scan or to control the behavior of code scanning. And I will not go through each and every configuration because, of course, we have a very less time for this demo. You can go through the documentation to see each and every configuration. And the main configuration is these two configuration to generate output in a Sonarqube format. You just need to change this value to Sonarqube and a JSON file. The name of this file, which is in my case is sonarqube.json. And after changing these two properties, whenever you scan your code, so I will just scan my code, which is Horusec hyphen start hyphen config, then the name of the configuration file. After you hit this command, it will scan your code. So it will also take a minute or two to scan and analyze all your code in the current directory. So let's wait for the few minutes. It completes the code scanning. Okay, the code scanning has been completed, and you can see it it generated a sonarqube.json report in a format of Sonarqube. So now I will export this file into my this Sonarqube project, and to export this file into this project, I will need to change these configurations in my build.svt, because I'm for this demo I am using Sonar plugin to scan my code and to update my Sonar portal. So I just need to update the project key and the name of my project, which is in case test project. And now we have to change the token. Token is now changed, and make sure you have enabled this flag or this property, which is called external issue report path, and give the name of the file which you have generated with the help of Horusec. So this file will be used to update or to import all those all these code vulnerability in your Sonarqube portal. So I have already mentioned this configuration in my Sonar properties. And if you are using Sonar Scanner tool, then you can also incorporate this configuration like this flag. You will just need to put hyphen capital D and the name of the property. And after then, you just need to uh, update the sonar. And to update the sonar, just hit the SVD sonar scan, and it will start the code scanning and ultimately update your sonar portal. So it will also take a minute or two to analyze all those reports and update the sonar portal. Yeah, and also if you are very curious like me, then you can also read each and every line of this report. You will see this prints out the type of issue and also a message which will describe your code issue, and it will also recommend you a way to resolve that issue. Oh yeah, so my Sonar portal is now updated. Let me just quickly move into this. Yeah, as you can see in my application, I have a total number of 26 vulnerability. Then you can click and analyze each of them. And if you are working in a team, then you can uh, and assign these issue to your team members so they can fix this issue, and ultimately you have a clean and secure application. And also if Horusec made some mistake, not some mistake, uh, uh, took some code as a vulnerability, you can also comment on the code that this is a dummy code and this is a not a security issue. So this is how Horusec works with the Sonarqube portal. Now the question is how we can integrate this with the CLI tool. We have 3 minutes.
Rahul, Rahul, I'm so sorry to interrupt in between, but it's already 4:12 and we have a closing time now very soon. So it would be great if we can wrap up this session quickly.
Yeah, let me just show you one last thing. You can integrate this Horusec tool with the CICD. So whenever a pull request is generated, uh, this will uh, this will start the code scanning and update the Sonar portal. So you can see in this check CI pipeline, it has a job of Horusec, then it has a job for run test and cases, and ultimately it will update my Sonar portal. So this is how you can integrate the Horusec tool with your CI/CD pipeline. And yeah, we are completed the session. And if you want this topic in more detail, you can obviously reach out to me, and we will have a good conversation and good demos on it in detail. But for now, I will thank you guys to join this session and be a wonderful audience.
Thank you so very much, Rahul, for this amazing session. And I'm sure we all have learned a lot. And in case we have any questions, then anyone can quickly ask those. And we just have 1 more minute to go. So, any more questions, guys? Any doubts, any queries?
The process which you have shown with the CI/CD, is it similar to implementing a quality gate, like Sonarqube is getting the reports?
It depends on your CI/CD job, whether you want to fail your job when a security or when a code vulnerability is found. So it will fail your job, but it has also a feature to not fail your job, but it will just update your Sonar portal. So it depends how you configured your job. So it will act as a just a simple security reports and update job, or it will also connect like a security gate or quality gate. So it totally depends how you configure your CI/CD job. Like I have configured in this case, so I have configured to run my job and ultimately update the Sonar portal. So
Thanks, Rahul. So sorry to interrupt in between, but we are running short of
yeah,
time. And Vaibhav, you may please feel free to reach out to Rahul, and he'll be happy to answer your queries. And anybody whosoever has doubts, please feel free to reach out to Rahul, and we are there to support you. And with that, we need to close this session because we need to start another session, which is already at it's already 4:15 now. So thank you so much for joining, guys. See you soon.
Thank you,
thank you
Rahul.
guys.